I want to welcome you to the show. My name is Yaya Diamond, and I am your host today. I'm telling you, we're going to take you on a fashion journey. Fashion. Now, of course, I'm into certain fashions, but not like this guy. Like this guy, he makes his own clothes. I mean, I tried, it didn't work. I can repair certain things, but then, I have to take it to somebody to do it. But this guy, no. This is in his head, his visions, his creations, his fashion. And I am just so excited to have him here. I want to welcome Mr. Tamil Robbins to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, how you doing, Yaya? What's
Oh,
going on? Thank you for having me.
oh my
And that was a great introduction. I was like, wow, that
gosh.
was Hollywood.
Well, it's true. It's like, okay, so some of us think that we can no. Mm-mm, no. Some of us think that we have these designs in our heads that we are really good at, and then it comes out and it's like, no, no. But then you have a designer, someone who's studied, someone who knows the color patterns and the color combinations and the seasons of colors and I mean, it takes a lot. Tell me, how did you find yourself in this? Was this something that you just kind of graduated into, or did you go to school for it? I mean, fill me in.
I'm going to fill you in
Please
because
do.
this has been a journey, a marvelous journey. And of course, with every journey, there's trials and tribulations, there's successes, there's ups and downs, and things like that. But this has been a true blessing journey, a true inner city American dream story. And I hail from Newark, New Jersey, USA. And I was born with the talent, but it wasn't, to my knowledge, a fashion talent. It was basically art. I went to art school, a media art school actually. It was called Arts High School in Newark,
Mhm,
and it was basically like you would see on the TV or the movie show Fame. It was
mhm,
art, music, and drama. So I was, of course, an art major, but they had drama there. If you want to go into acting, of course, music, and all that plays in a part of fashion as well because it's a lifestyle. But that was my first intersection of becoming, evolving into what you see today as a fashion house, but as a designer. But my true background was visual arts.
wow.
So I'm a master airbrush painter.
Mm,
So I pen and ink, watercolors, gouache, and this is before computer was even thought about.
mhm,
I went to art school all my life. So,
mm,
and that was the innate talent that I had, but it had to be cultivated. It had to evolve. It had to mature. So as a child, I came up through those ranks, and I had the best art teachers in the world. God rest their souls; they're no longer here, but um, I was my second home.
wow.
Um, it was really, really a good experience because don't forget when I when we were coming up back in the early '70s. I'm a '67 baby, so early
Mhm,
'70s, from the '70s to '80s. You had prior to that was you know the riots, post riots. After that, the whole decay of things. So Newark wasn't really like the best place to look at visually because we were from the inner city, and that
mhm,
was the backdrop. But my artistic talent in that school
mhm,
always took me to a whole other different place where you can dream and be everything that you wanted to be. That school was such a jewel, and it's still there. It's almost 100 years old. That school.
mm,
Um, from there, if I may continue on that journey, because it is very important that you know that backstory, because
mhm,
without that backstory, none of this would materialize what you see here. And it was such a blessing. And at the time, for me, it was streetwear, breakdancing. Hip hop was just being, that was even a baby back then.
mhm,
And it was, the graffiti art, it was real rough and rugged and stuff. But at the same time, I had the best of both worlds because, my father, my uncles, those guys were always dressed to kill. It wasn't like how, we were coming up. So I had like the best of both worlds. So I was able to mix the streetwear with the traditional dressing, the suitings, And
Mm.
seeing my mother and my aunts and all of they always were dressed to kill. It was like that's what it was. It
Mhm.
wasn't some. It was you had Sunday's best, and then you had dressed to kill.
Right.
So so you had the best of both worlds, and that was me. And then with the artistic behind it, it was me drawing comics, me painting, me doing still lifes, painting on canvases. I had airbrush shops, back in the early '90s. From coming out of high school, because in high school I was the graffiti guy. It was airbrush. It was spray paint with the cans. It was a lot of rough. It was street own style. So
Mhm.
streetwear and those other elements helped me to become the visionary of what you see with the House of AMIAT, as far as
Wow.
the logo, the textiles, the different things like that. Because I also went to interior design school right
Mhm.
after right after high school, so I had those different experiences as well, and that's what tied in the textile part of it, you know,
Mm.
and that's how the whole fashion thing came. So I had the airbrushing on the denim, and then we had the textiles,
Mhm.
you see, and then also I worked for an architect. So that's why you see the logo on the handle. That's an architectural thought
Yeah.
process. A good structure, sturdy structure, strength,
Wow.
balance, beauty, curves, those
Mhm.
types of things that you see in the elements of all of the products that the house does. And there's a
Right.
difference why I keep saying house, as far as as opposed to when I first started, it was streetwear, then it was a clothing line. Then don't forget we had the era of the urban fashions. So you saw all of that. So I came up in that. And but professionally, because that was already in me. So in high school, I was already doing the streetwear, you know, airbrushing on jackets and t-shirts and things like that. So, ripping up the jeans and things like that. So that was our own way of creating our own style. So that whole culture started back then, and it started
Mhm.
evolving with what you see on, these young artists today.
Wow.
But with me, um, having that innate talent to actually visualize different things, I don't really use the computer as a crutch, or I need, you know, a Mac, or I need, a program, and I don't need any of that.
Mm.
That comes naturally, and a natural ability for me. That's why you see the different curves and the aesthetics of those collections and of
I
those
love
bags.
this.
Thank you. And the textile patterns and all of that stuff is original. All of this stuff is original exclusively for the House of Amiat. That's all
Mm.
moves in all textiles. And because I have a textile background, but it still stands for all moods and all types, you know, and all
Mhm.
moods and techniques, because I have different techniques, um, that creatively that I can do, and thought process when I'm working with all of the different producers that
Mhm.
produces the bags, or produces the fabric, or produces the denim and things like that, or produces the trims that
Mhm.
that we have, that you see originally. But that whole thing was an evolvement. So, and then professionally, what started funding all of this, I had to go into the corporate world.
Mhm.
And from there, I got into sports licensing.
Mm.
So you would see, um, everybody from T.O. to Tom Brady has worn my uniforms on field. So I did the NFL Pro Bowl uniform. They were used twice on field, and I did some on field apparel.
Mhm.
Uh, I worked on the Allen Iverson collection for Reebok. So these were all like freelance projects that I did that helped cultivate what I was doing behind the scenes for Amiat, for the House of Amiat.
Mhm.
Uh, NFL, ML, Major League Baseball. We did the Major League Baseball license. So that alone, in that industry alone, that's how I was able to travel the world, go visit different factories, build relationships, um, create new things,
Mhm.
because I had to be hands on,
Yeah.
especially with me trying to learn the business of fashion. So I had to actually separate myself from the raw talent, because when you're a talent and it's a natural gift, that's that comes already. You can do that in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But the business of it, that was the part that has to continually have structure to it, continually, have resources for it,
Mm.
continually need to feed it because that was a baby. So I
Yeah.
was I was truly truly blessed to have a mentor in the game, in the fashion world. His name was Glenn Senior. Like I
Mm.
always mention him because without him, you would see not we would even be on this interview.
Mm.
Um, he was a master pattern maker, and we met in the industry when I was doing streetwear, when I was doing the sports licensing, and he's, you know, we had like a bond. He always admired what I've done, and he always said, "Why don't you get into doing a real fashion house?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, you could become a brand. We can do dresses, we can do suitings, we can do wrap dresses. Like you have a talent." So I thought, I thought he was nuts. I'm like, I'm doing streetwear, I'm doing this. He said, "That's got a shelf life." I said, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
And I thought he was like a grumpy old man, like hating, hating on what we were doing. And
Uh-huh.
felt like, I said, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Glenn. Like I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. And he was like, "Man, you are being very short sighted. You telling me you went to art school. You telling me you can paint and draw and do all these different things naturally. Why are you wasting it on just one category?" He said, "I'm not telling you to throw it away. I'm just saying that has a shelf life. And if you
Right.
marginalize yourself or put yourself into one category, and you're going it's going to be gone." He said this streetwear stuff, it's going to be gone in like 10 years. It's over. And like I said, I thought he was hating. I'm like, "Man, you hating, we going this is going to be here forever and blah blah blah. This hip hop and this fashion and this streetwear, and we the next new thing." Next thing he was right. And
Yeah.
I was able to evolve myself. I said, "Let me give it a try." He said, he said, "I don't want to see logos on the shirt, names, and I don't want to see all." He said, "Go to the drawing board, use your gifts, and come back with something." So he said, "You went to art school, you done, interior design and things like that. Show me something, like, give it a shot." And that's how I started coming up with the textile patterns.
I love
So
this. I have to interrupt you because I think my favorite bag is going to be this one. I mean,
which one?
I'm not gonna lie. The girl, I think is coming up now. The love saddle bag.
Oh,
I think.
the love saddlebag.
Okay, so the love saddle bag. Please correct me if I am wrong, but it's sort of like a waist bag, but then it's also a purse,
It's both. It's a saddlebag.
and
Um,
it fits across your legs and your thighs, like kind of sit and it goes in them. I like that. I
yeah.
literally love that because I am definitely a girl that loves like the waist bags. I can't
Hmm.
say the word because in different countries that's not a good word to say, but a waist bag. And it's really pretty, and I love the indentations of it because it reminds me of the thighs that are, you know what I mean, like the indentation. So it's really pretty. I like that. That's like, I think that's so. I have not seen a bag like that. I think
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
that a lot.
thank you for your interpretation of it. And that was creative, the thighs, but it's actually the AMIAT logo shape.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, so because you can see it in the key ring, you can see it on the lock,
Mhm.
you can see it.
Yeah.
The actual bag is the actual logo shape, and
Oh,
I wanted
wow.
to do something different, and I wanted to do something because you know, in this industry, it's really, really competitive. It's really, really saturated with so
Yeah.
many different products and so many different things. And there are saddlebags that you see, but my mentor always said, "What are you going to do different? What are you going to do that's going to tell a buyer they don't have this?" So I had to create these different things from my architectural background, from my interior design background. So you see the interiors of that bag, n- you know, has the
Mhm.
same continuity as the outside of the bag because that's the pillow stitch of the geo pattern.
Right.
And yes, so that that particular pattern that you see on that bag is called the geo pattern. So it's a
Mm,
geometrically shaped pattern that took me almost a year to create
wow.
because I had to really position the logo to go around like that if you really
Mhm.
look at it in the different
Yeah,
formation that it's in.
I like
So thank you.
that. I really
Now thank you.
yeah.
I really appreciate it. I'm actually surprised that you like that bag first, you know.
I did. You know why? It's a waist bag, or
Yeah.
to me, it's like almost like a fanny, But you
Yeah.
can't, like I said, in certain countries, you can't say fanny. It's wrong to say. So I say waist bag. But
Mhm.
I kind of really, and I didn't notice that it was the logo. You know what I mean? What I
Right.
noticed was that, okay, if I'm sitting down, the biggest gripe I have about a waist bag would be that it just sits straight across your lap, and then you got
Right.
to turn it to kind of get it to your hip so that you can have a little bit of, like a little bit of comfort. But
Right.
with your bag, it's not going to be that way, because think about it, it's shaped like the thighs, and so the
Yeah.
thighs will sit there, and then it'll sit comfortably, and you won't have to put your waist back to the side or take it off. It can literally sit in your lap comfortably, cover, hugging
Yes.
your thighs. To me, that's just, and I don't know if you even did it that way, but to me, it's inventive.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, in art school, I learned about positive and negative space. So
Hmm.
that negative space that's there, like you just said, it can rest right on your thigh.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it is actually a versatile bag. It's a belt bag, a waist bag, a saddle bag, and you can strap it around your shoulder as well.
that's what I saw. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I saw all three. I was like, okay, wait, it could be a waist bag or even a purse or even, like, like you said, a side bag too. And when it goes to the side, you're not uncomfortable. If it goes to if it goes across, you're not uncomfortable because you could take it and still put it in your lap, and it'll
Right.
still sit on your thighs, which is something I really like. I truly like that. And I like
Thank
the
you.
comfortable part of it. It's psychologically, it makes it so that there is a space that it's going to sit in properly to me. It's not going to sit across, you know?
Yeah. And you
That's
and
wonderful.
you can actually put things in there. Phone,
Yeah,
cosmetics, wallet, I made it
definitely.
spacey enough for the interior side that you can
Definitely.
actually use it. Some
Oh,
bags
yeah.
you can't use at all.
I
you
hear
know.
you. I hear
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
No.
Yeah.
And you have so many different things. Like, you have the accessories, you have the hip band, you also have your totes, your wallets. What I do love about this is that the versatility, but also the colors. Some of the colors you haven't really seen, and like you said, the textiles and just the fabric themselves. You've taken that and you've actually put the logo. I can now see it in the in the textile. I absolutely love
Yeah.
what you've done. It's original. I've never seen it done like this. I have never seen a bag that looked like this. I
That
haven't.
bag
And
that
look at
bag
this.
right there, that one, well, that's innate though, but the one, yes, this one here, this row, that's the actual blooming. That's the blooming clutch bag. So reason why I call it a blooming clutch bag because the negative space that you see in the negative space where the flaps are
Hmm.
forms like a petal of a flower if you look at it,
Oh,
and
okay.
all
I got
and
you.
all four of those open. I have
Oh,
it here. I have it right here by me, so I can show you.
what?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Wait, let me see.
Yeah, so this is the one I'm carrying today, but it
Mm-hmm.
matches the blue in my houndstooth pattern. This is the AMIAT
Mm-hmm.
houndstooth pattern. But anyway, before I get to that, so each one of these
Oh,
flaps open, but see the negative space inside?
yeah.
That's a petal, it's a flower.
That is beautiful.
And then all sides open.
Right.
So it blooms. So that's why I call it the
Mhm.
blooming bag. And the top part opens as well, of course. And you can see the AMIAT geo pattern lining
Right.
the satin lining right inside there, even inside the interiors of the bag. So the flaps and each flap have a zipper pocket. So
Mm-hmm.
these pockets are all separate. They don't touch each other. So if you put your hand from this side, you won't touch your hand on that side. It's just gonna have all separate pockets here. So you can put,
Mm.
you know. credit cards in here, business cards or whatever have you. Then you have plenty of room. At first, I thought this bag was like kind of like, eh, I don't know, but I use this bag every day because I put so much stuff in it. It
Right.
carries it carries everything. The Bloom and Clutch bag,
It
and
looks,
then
and I love the design, but not only that, I love the actual carrier, the actual chain that you put on there. It's not just like a leather strap. You know what I hate about leather straps? Eventually they fray. And I
right,
don't like it that they fray. You got to cut off, the fray, Look at this.
yeah. So you can actually the
Yeah.
chain comes off. So you see the chain is the actual AMIAT logo shape. This is
Mm-hmm.
our own link chain, and this is separate. That separates you from being a generic bag as opposed to a true house because the chain is exclusively for the house.
Yeah,
You see,
exactly.
this chain comes off, or you can put it back in the bag, and you can carry it this way too. That's why it's called
I
a
love that.
blooming clutch bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Nice.
I wore this embroidered on it. So that's basically that bag. Since I had it next to me, but I have a few things next to me that I can, show you if
That is
need be.
wonderful. Oh,
Yeah,
please,
that's
yes, definitely. I
so.
absolutely love it. I love the creativity. I think everybody has a gift, and in that gift, we should celebrate that gift among each other. And to me, this is just as beautiful. So, what else do you have to show us?
Well, I mean, just while we were talking in the interview, because you were going on the website, but going back to my going back to my roots, master airbrush painter. So
Mm,
before I got into actually making these types of bags, I was airbrushing on things. So
mm.
I would, so say for instance, this hard case right here.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I airbrush all of this exclusively just with the NYX.
Oh my gosh.
All this is all my airbrush work, all hand airbrushed.
You need to stop.
And then here I have the actual, if you the rolling case that goes with it.
Oh,
So
you
this,
need to.
yeah, this is the actual rolling case, and you can sit this right on top. Here, this comes up like that, and then this piece here goes here. So when you're in the airport, you have both
You
pieces.
need you need to stop. You need to
So,
stop. Oh
so,
my gosh, that's so cool.
so the actual going back from that and evolving into this, I came up with all the textile patterns. That's why my mentor, because he knew I was an artist like that, he said you can create your own textile library and it's exclusively for your house. So
Mhm.
this way you stand out from any other collection because everybody uses houndstooth, everybody uses floral, everybody uses check plaids, everybody. So I had to create my own and I derived it from the actual logo.
Wow.
So the houndstooth pattern that you see on my shirt is the same houndstooth pattern you see on this carry case here. This
Mm,
is a hard case, and I actually have, just like I did with the airbrush bag, I have it now in the hard case as well. So
nice.
you have it in the hard case, and when you open up the interiors, of course, the interior is the Amiyat motif. So
Mhm.
that is the houndstooth pattern. I
Wow.
also have it in like a sweater knit. So this way the actual logo, the DNA of the logo can go through hard cases, yarn dyes, sweater knits. So you see the Amia logo, just actually a knitted,
Mm,
a fully fashion knitted sweater, cardigan, ladies
mhm,
cardigan. So you see
mhm.
that. So I have it in the same houndstooth pattern. You see it in this skirt, this little mini skirt here,
Oh, wow.
and you see the houndstooth pattern going all the way around, and then you
Mhm.
see the aesthetic of the Amia logo and the cut lines of the actual script, you can see that. And
Yeah.
hold it up so you can see actually it going like that. Those are the
That's
seams.
so
Yeah,
cool.
and those are the seams for that. Um, the that same pattern I did the same logo. I actually did this mini skirt, and that's in the paisley design. So you can see the Amiya paisley.
Yeah. Oh,
Front of
wow.
the skirt, back of the skirt, that's the paisley. And I have these same textile patterns in men's blazers. You can see back here. You can see it in the women's blazer here. That same
Mm-hmm.
it matches with that skirt, and
Wow.
of course, denim.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes a house. So that your whole motif goes across many different categories,
Yeah.
keeping the same continuity. So you see the zigzag stitch here
Yeah.
goes across the back pocket, and it's
Yeah,
still a
I see
pocket.
it.
It's not
And I
closed off.
also see the belt holder.
Yeah, the belt loops are the
Yeah,
actual
the belt
armor
loops. Yeah.
and in the front you see the
Mm-hmm.
front Y as the AMIAT logo there.
Yeah.
The coin pocket on the side here, the coin pocket, you see it. So even the rivets and the button, everything exclusive to the house. Your big houses do that. The big,
Yeah.
the big
Well,
houses in Europe, they have those capabilities. But me as an independent, just to stand out, and now you see where all the resources have to go to be that far
yeah.
ahead and to have that much of that kind of level of expertise and originality.
Mm-hmm.
I just show you so many different elements that put things together.
That is
So
wonderful.
for instance, for instance here, right?
The handle.
The Oh yeah, the handle. Yeah, the handle
The
definitely.
handle's off the chain. I'm sorry. The handle's off the chain.
Now,
Okay.
an editor, an editor from Europe, when they wanted to do a display, they said, "We don't know you, but this handle is going to take you a long way." It was so ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
The lady said it's so ingenious. She was some marketing lady over in London, and she saw this and she said, "Wow, this handle is very, very gorgeous."
Oh yeah.
Not only the handle, the actual weave pattern that's
Yeah.
in leather. You see the AMIAT logos
Mm-hmm.
developing that. Now, I actually had to come up with a different weave pattern because, of course, Bottega Veneta, all the different other houses that are doing weave patterns, they have the original weave pattern. So there's no way I could use that and compete and have that kind of. So I had to creatively, my mentor again, God rest his soul. Um, he said you have to come up with something very, very unique and different. You're an
Mm-hmm.
artist, you're a sculptor pretty much in your mind, sculpt something. So this is how I came up with that pattern. And that's the geo weave pattern,
Mm-hmm.
exclusively for the house. No other pattern, no other weave pattern in the world looks like that.
Right. Wow.
Really original.
Amazing. Definitely
Even when
original.
you Yeah, even when you open it, yeah, you see when you open it, it has the
Mhm.
lining there, the geo pattern lining that matches.
Yeah. And
It's
even
such,
the zipper.
yes, the
Mm,
zipper pulls. I mean, it's just such a beautiful piece.
it
Just
is.
to even look at artistically, it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful piece. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do just a bag or just, yeah, see the details in that.
Oh
It,
yeah.
it's just really, really, really original.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm absolutely in love with this. I
Thank
think,
you.
and it's so, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that you have to put in a lot of thought to what you're going to go into, and you have to go all the way with it. It can't be halfway. It's got to be all the way with it.
All the
I
way.
appreciate that. I definitely
All the way.
appreciate that. I want to tell everybody you can go ahead and go to the website. It's amiatluxury.com, and it's right there. It's on the bottom of the screen over there, and it's also going to be in the description box. When you look at your future and you think about what's coming next, what can you give away without giving away something? Tell me something.
Um, I'm just gonna come out right with it. When you're saying when you mention the word house, and I could never use those words before.
Hmm.
When my mentor was when I was first under his wing, I could never say couture. I could never use that word. He said never use that word. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why? He said you don't have anything original. You don't have anything to call yourself that because couture means like hand done, original creative trims and original textile patterns, original everything that's encompasses that garment or that product or that bag or that shoe um, goes into interiors. And that could be your home with the furniture. That can be inside of a car, those that same leather.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going future with it now. Now, because I'm a painter and an artist, it's cosmetics, you see, it's fragrances, um, all encompassing with the house.
Mm-hmm.
So from from fashion to, say for instance, footwear. I'm quite sure you saw some footwear. So you see the same geo pattern on this boot, on this ankle boot.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back with the bag. Now you're going to see interior. You're going to see home. You know, the furniture, the belt, the belts that go around, the table, uh,
Mm-hmm.
those type of things. So that's future wise. That's what always. I'm always sketching. I'm always preparing. I'm always building those type of relationships where you see equestrian, the horse saddle. You can imagine that same textile pattern on that horse saddle.
Right.
Equestrian is a huge business. Um, that so many different things. So it has the same continuity. So whenever you see that, you're gonna say, "Wow, that's AMIAT." You know, that's the house of AMIAT. So we encompass the whole thing, the whole house.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today and for sharing your dedication and your creativity. This has been nothing but inspiring for me. I don't know about anyone else, but to see the originality, developing the house, developing the style, the design, the uniqueness. I, hey, you go, you go with your good self, as they say.
Thank you, I
And
appreciate it.
no problem. And thank you for being on the show. People can reach you on Instagram, and your Instagram is on your website, and the website is going to be in the description box. But if you go ahead and you scroll down, I'm going to go ahead and show everybody where the website would be. If you are on the website and you just happen to be there looking at all of this beautiful stuff that we've gone through, like the belt and the jacket. I mean, look at wait, I have to go back up. Even the jacket. See the
Yes,
jacket? Even the jacket. Okay. All
the
right.
jacket,
That's
pants, the
hmm.
dress, all of the apparel that's on that site is
That's
from the house.
right.
I mean, everything.
That's
Uh,
oh my gosh. Look at even you can look at this. Oh my gosh, stop it. Just stop. Okay? Just don't do this to me. This is great. This is wonderful. I absolutely love it. You can go ahead and go down to the bottom and go to the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also go ahead and give him a ring ding or an email if you'd like. And if you want some more information about it, it's AMIAT Luxury fashion house. That's what this is, and that's what it has, and that's what it's going to be. And we are so very excited to be part of your journey. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, and I really appreciate you having me and
Anytime.
spreading the knowledge and spreading the inspiration of this.
I hear
There's
you.
so many different people from all the inner cities, so much talent.
Yeah.
We could just reach out. Like I talk to my students sometimes when I'm doing like lectures or any type of mentorships and things like that. You want to be see these textile patterns are gonna. This is the first generation everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is first generation everything. So this has to be able to pass on and pass on so it can create real jobs. So it
Yeah.
can create pattern jobs. So it can create pattern maker jobs. So it can create color theorists and denim makers and all types of things. From here to from the East Coast to the West Coast. So you want to be able to build that. It's not just about, hey, I got some fly gear on. We could do that all day. We come from that. But actually building a house like this is not something that is on this path. This path
Right.
is for generations. You
Mm-hmm.
think about it like this: that caveman who created that wheel was not thinking about Goodyear, Pirelli, BBS rims. He had no he just wanted to make a wheel so he can push the cart from point A to point B. So it had to evolve the tire. You see? So with this, it's the same. So I'm already in hyperspace, with the spacesuits and those type of things. I'm
That's
I'm ready
wonderful.
to go. I'm ready to go tech with all the AI and different things that's out there. With textiles, you have to wear it. It's something you can't download. You have to wear this. So I'm happy and to be in this position so we can spread it.
I see. Let me tell you, I'm happy you're in that position too. I am.
Thank you.
I definitely am because,
Yeah,
only certain people can do that. If that's your thing, you need to go for it. Just like, Tamil went for it, you got to go for it. If that's your thing, go for it. Don't make any excuses. You got to go all the way with it. Because if Tamil can do it, so can you.
that's right.
Tamil, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate your artistry and your fashion house. Hmm.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
I
Right.
want thank
I'm
you.
proud to say that now.
That's right. It's a fashion house. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different, but don't forget to visit the fashion house. That's right. And we're gonna have that information for you in the description box below. Until next time, guys. AMIAT Fashion. That's right. That's what we're doing. AMIAT Luxury.com.